feels like.
But I don't view it like ideologically, right? This is what I don't understand. It feels that Hutch maybe is more moderate, maybe more centrist on some of the disagreements we're having, but like the disagreement.
He's not centrist. What are you talking about? When is Hutch? Oh, he's like solidly blue liberal. What are you? But it's just that you're so far to the left now, you just don't see it. Oh, bro, he's like clearly blue. No one calls Destiny or Hutch a centrist. Who the fuck calls like them a centrist? What, bro?
Agreements are kind of like about
Oh,
tactically
oh.
how does Biden best promote his own agenda,
What
right?
the fuck?
That's basically our argument in this specific instance. Isn't about what the agenda should be, right? We're all kind of agreed. We're behind the Biden agenda, at least with
But
respect
I want
to.
to talk about AOC, and the Vanguard is proximately more allies than Rob Noor line of argumentation.
Oh, really?
because
You
I
want to
think-
go there? Okay, yeah, let's go.
No, but I think I can demonstrate to you. I literally made a drawing. I could show you the breakdown. But if you have something else to share on that point, share.
Well, I
share
just
on
want
that
to
point.
say,
I just wanted to say that I wanted to do that at some point.
I think if you actually are objective and looking at the points of disagreements, they're not like which should we have Medicare for all or not Medicare for all? Should we be in favor of stopping all funds to Israel, or should we be in favor of?
Okay. Did Hutch actually say that he was closer to Rob Noor? No way, right? Than Vanguard? If so, then he's wrong. That's silly.
You know, maybe just doing a tiered approach, or we're taking away certain kinds of funds, or maybe we're having maybe it's a full relationship. Like those aren't the disagreements that Hutch is having with me and Econoboy. The disagreements are like, how do we best promote Biden's agenda? How do we best promote Democrats? And none of
Oh, he said in joking way. Okay, all right.
that
just
is
make sure.
like an ideological battle. It's kind of like a strategic, tactical battle. And so even to put it in terms of moderate versus not moderate, you're muted, by the way, if you wanted to say that. Moderate versus not moderate.
I was going to say I disagree.
Okay, go for it.
Oh well, actually, if you'll indulge me, I'll share. I'll share this with you.
Yeah.
Because I actually think that we are at mildly opposed tactical and strategic goals.
Apparently, I think, okay, I'm not entirely sure. In some way, shape, or form, Counterpoints watches my videos, okay? I don't know if he watches my videos in the context of, like, him watching Queeman watching me, or him watching JStop watching me, or watching someone else watch me or something. But in some shape or fashion, he does am aware to some degree. I'm not sure. So I wonder... Or maybe he watched it himself, okay?
And I think I'm actually aligned with Hutch more than I am with you. But if you'll look at my beautiful drawing,
But also,
I'm going to make it big on my screen.
Yeah, make it big.
Effectively,
Bro, Connor won't shut up about Lolly, okay? There's no shot the bridge is rebuilding, okay? Like, he's gonna feel the intrusive thought to constantly bring up, like little girls and their, like, pussies, and the pussies of little girls constantly, alright? There's no shot the bridge is reforming, because he is in terminal soul damage mode. It's retarded.
what's that?
I just made it big as well.
Okay. So the L in the top left, R in
Like,
the top
every
right is
single
obviously
time.
left and right.
He just won't shut
this
up
is
about
the
it.
political spectrum. FL is far left. Prog is progressive. Lib is lib. Lib on the right is libertarian, moderates, and neoconservative. Then I put contrarians. Then I put MAGA. And the big box is actually the coalition that I want to build.
Okay.
I want to take sensible progressives, sensible liberals, libertarians, moderates, neoconservatives, and
Bro, all I'm gonna say is that so far, I think if anything, it's, for me, it feels as though, like, me just streaming alone with no bridges whatsoever is, like, the best way for me to do it. Like, I think at this point, I've just kind of established myself as someone like that. If you're a content creator who operates exclusively within orbits and other people's orbits and such, then fine, you know? But, like, for me, I think I like to stray more on the fucking reclusive end, you know? Reclusive end of things.
some of the contrarians that we can win back. And I want to say that MAGA is effectively rat poison that's killing the country. And this is the coalition that I want to build. However, if the Vanguard are Marxist-Leninists, or if Hassan Piker or Ogre Boy or Vosh or whatever.
How did Ogre Boy become such a meme? Like, this guy is like some Twitter clipper, right? That gets 10 likes per fucking clip or something? Okay. My favorite niche internet micro-celebrity, Chaser Detected. You're just scared of human bonds and connection. The last time I had human bonds and connection, Stardust went on to Now Recording to complain about how much I'm a pedophile or some shit, okay? Or I'm a fucking weirdo lolcow. So, you know what? I think I'm good, actually. I'm good with not rebuilding the Bridge of Stardust. I think I'm good. Okay.
Are far leftists,
We Gucci.
then they're not part of my coalition. And I would actually, ideally, I would like to excise
Behind
them
my back,
even
by
if
the
I
way.
can't. Right?
Yeah.
And so when Josiah, I'm pointing it out on my map, when he says, oh, I'm more proximate to the Vanguard boys, who I put in the far left thing, he's technically right that Rob Noor is further away. However, you know, me as like, call me a neocon, call me a conservatarian, whatever, I'm closer to him, ideally, than he is to the Vanguard boys. So the argument from Hutch and myself is that if you pander or play footsie with the far left, you're losing the center-right people that you could attract.
I hear what you're saying. Let me respond.
What the fuck? Okay, listen. Fuck attracting the center-right people, okay? Alright, never mind. Counterpoints is also retarded on this, okay? Alright? I thought he was gonna do like a full defense. Stop! Stop appealing to the moderates! This needs to stop. This is a... Appealing to the moderates is a lie, okay? If you're still a moderate at this point and you're not sure whether or not, like, Trump is better for the country or worse, they're lost! They're lost people, okay? They're completely lost people, alright? You have a better chance? Dude, if you want someone to go from not Trumper, someone who's not MAGA, to someone who is... Sorry, someone who's MAGA to not MAGA, okay? They need to be... Listen, they need to have an internal revelation, okay? They literally need to have anime character development in order to go through it, okay? Like their parents need to die or some shit, and then they like, and even then, their own kids dying or their parents dying of COVID isn't enough to convince them to switch off from Trump, all right? If one of their family members dying, okay, because of their stupid fucking conspiracies won't even get them off from Trump, nothing will, okay? What? What's the point? There's no point. Sorry, I'm conflating the moderates and the right wing. But at this point, like, the moderates are even worse than the right wing because at least the right wing knows what they want, okay? Yeah, anyway. So who are you attracting to your party to win elections? Yourself? Yes. You got it. Yeah. I think that there is a great amount of Democrats out there who would become registered voters who are already blue, so they don't need to be convinced. You don't need to convince them all that much, okay? But you need to get them off their fucking couch, all right? That's what. Good luck. Listen, it's actually, listen, this is way easier. It's way easier to get people who are already on your side to get to the poll than it is to get people to sway to your side and then try to convince them to get to the polls in your favor. No shot, dude. Get me off that train, okay?
A couple things. The first is my coalition is anti-MAGA, by and large. I just want people who are
it's a problem
anti-MAGA and willing to vote for. Excuse me, for the Democrats.
Dude, whenever someone says moderate or centrist, it barely means anything anymore. Like, everyone has their own definition. They're like, I'm a moderate, I'm so special, and then you just found out like there's just a hardcore conservative or a hardcore liberal.
Democratic candidate,
whatever.
And that's why I'm building bridges with people who range on the spectrum ideologically, but who have expressed a desire.
What you need to do is convince the people who think it doesn't matter if they get out to vote because they'll vote Dems. Yeah, I have voted in presidential elections every single fucking time, okay? Despite being Californian. Despite being Californian, dude. Yeah, I've done it. I voted mail-in voting when I was in Ohio for college, okay? Do you know why? Because I believe in democracy. Right? I believe that I am part of that blue majority that needs to keep that blue majority. I believe that without people like me, we wouldn't have a blue majority in California. Yeah, that is why. We don't need to just change things. We need to upkeep existing things. Okay? Yeah. Is that such a hard concept for people? Fuck me, dude. It's so obvious,
or preference
isn't it?
for voting for the Democrat over the Republican in that context. That's a broad tent coalition. And in terms of whether we're closer to you or closer to the Vanguard, I think it depends on what. I think
my mom used to say, if you don't vote, you don't get to complain about the government. Dude, on God, for real, you spitting, okay? Spit harder, stumbling, spitting through life.
The single axis thing that you're pointing at is kind of like a looking at the labels, and so I don't necessarily have a problem with you like putting the labels in the way you're doing it. But I would, for example, consider MAGA like in terms of left right, the traditional economic spectrum. I don't know like how right wing, like a lot of the MAGA.
Dude, if you have to put a percentage out of 100 on how many people who are at least close to center, what would that percentage be? Center in terms of what you have a mixture of liberal and conservative policies for whatever reason, like you have a mixture in your mind or something. Is that what you're talking about?
People seem like they're okay
Or
with
do you
planned
mean people who are
economies in some
uninformed
instances,
on
right? Like, a lot of the
politics?
time they're okay with like Trump making.
Yeah, but that's when it gets into a horseshoe.
Yeah, sure. So in terms of ideology, I'm closer. I'm
Center,
definitely
left,
closer
right?
to you on issues of structure when it comes to like.
I don't know, dude. There are like Pew Research polls for this, dude.
A lot of these norms,
But it's not that much. It's not more
I
than
think of
the
certain
solid
rights
people.
probably than the vanguard. But in terms of economic policy, I'm probably way more comfortable with socialized medicine than you are.
Okay, 60 to 70% is fucking insane. I'm searching it up now. 60 to 70% is fucking insane. Hold on. How many Americans are moderates? Gallup poll. No, like 34%. 34%, dude. Nah. Yeah, it's not 60%.
Or
34%.
I don't know about that, but like, so I
Yeah,
don't.
somebody asked me that about in chat or whatever.
this
Basically,
doesn't
I don't
mean-
have a
sure,
problem with a
I know.
multi-payer system. I think
I don't
everybody
think
should
so.
have like a
I know.
basic, decent level of care, and then if you're rich, you can pay for all the fucking extras.
Yeah, so I don't know how far or close I am to you versus Vanguard. I consider it like if you guys are acknowledging that the Democrat is better.
Yeah, but are the Vanguard? Sorry, real quick. Are the Vanguard though? Are they Marxist-Leninists? Are they tankies? Are they crypto tankies? You know what? What's that? Because to me, I would view that as effectively the opposite mirror of Christian nationalism. I really would.
Are you a Christian nationalist?
Sorry, what's that?
Are you a Christian nationalist?
No.
Oh,
No,
I'm saying
that would
Christian
be Andrew
nationalists,
Wilson.
authoritarian
Andrew Wilson would be a Christian
theocrats.
nationalist.
Even let's say that JD Vance was still a never Trump Republican and
Okay.
he had perfect right-wing policy, and I wanted to vote for JD Vance. Well, a Christian nationalist might also vote for JD Vance, but they want to institute a Christian
Do you really think Connor was a
autocracy.
Christian
They want
nationalist?
to destroy the
Bro, dude, I'm gonna be honest. Connor's full of weird ideas. I actually don't really mind him asking that. Like the thing is that, dude, I have watched some of Counterpoints like videos where he explains his political ideology, and he said that Pol Pot was like a fucking not Pol Pot, Tito. He said that Tito was an inspiration. What? Like Tito, the communist dictator? What are you talking about, mate? Anyway, Connor's a libertarian. No, he's like a moderate Republican. Moderate conservative. Yeah.
Constitution of the United States. So we might be proximate allies, as Josiah was saying, in the fact that we're both voting for the
Listen, he
same
said he.
candidate.
Dude,
Yeah, but I'm
listen,
not
you
gonna
have
vote
to
for
vote
someone-
have
yeah, no,
opposed
but-
political projects.
yeah. So if the Vanguard start promoting a candidate that I think will cause the breakdown of society similar to like a Christian nationalist candidate, then I won't support that candidate. Like if I think that there's a candidate from the left who poses an existential threat greater to MAGA, I'm going to do a different risk calculus there, and I won't support him. But I don't think
Warhammer
like right
40K.
now where
Yeah, but chances are, dude, but like 85% or 90% of the people who like Warhammer 40K are like the most conservative Nazi adjacent motherfuckers ever. Okay, on God. All right. The other 15% are shunned.
where we are in terms of the Overton
of
window,
Canada.
whatever you want to say, like we're not even close to having fielding a candidate that's like that. Mamdani, I think, is not at all like that.
I don't want to entertain.
Yeah.
I don't want to entertain the shift left. So for instance, I think what Hutch's argumentation, because I think you guys pointed out towards the end of the stream that like 80%, 90% of his content right now is anti-far left content.
How could you hate Warhammer 40K? I never said I hated it. I'm just saying this is what the fandom is like.
He's trying to, in my opinion, like strangle the infant in the crib of far left hoodoo fucking nonsense and he feels like it's not getting called out by the left. You guys kind of minimize it. And then what I would say is I side with fucking Hutch, because the truth is that if those people become more relevant,
well, yeah,
if
you're
those people become
conservative, aren't you?
propagandistic
There you go.
tools by the far right or whatever, the contrarians, I know it's not fair, but the contrarian right are looking for any excuse not to vote for a Democrat.
Yeah,
Any
so
excuse. And so if you give them any excuse,
like,
they go right.
So in terms of the lefties, some of them whom we bring on our show, they're more relevant than us in terms of their audiences. Kyle and Crystal are platforming me when they bring me on.
Relevant or irrelevant?
Relevant, right?
Just so you know, I have no problem with Pisco like connecting with Kyle, Kalinske, Crystal Ball, and even the Vanguard. Okay, like who cares? Whatever you want to connect with them, fine. All right. Like the thing is that like, the reason why Destiny did a lefty purge is because all the other lefties were not okay with associating with him in particular, right? All the other like lefties are like what like they were yeah, they weren't okay with associating with Destiny, not the other way around. So yeah. So I'm Nazi adjacent because I like 40K. All right, dude, who the fuck, bro? Okay, all right, you're trolling me.
Breaking Points is a show that gets millions of viewers every single week. You know, Kyle Kalinske gets millions of viewers every single week. The Vanguard, much bigger than me. They get more views than me or Hutch. They're, you know, when we invite them onto our show, it's in some ways a favor to us, okay? Because we're small fish, all right? And I don't think that there's like anything that we could do or not do that would stymie their growth. And so in terms of the prescription, what good? What are we doing by like spending our time like burning bridges, if that's the prescription? Like is the prescription to burn the bridges with the Vanguard, with Crystal and Kyle? So then what is actually the prescription of us that would be helpful to strangling in the crib some notions or some people? Like, we're not going to do that. We're not going to be able to do that.
I think having the good fights and being the better creator. So I think that Hutch and I are probably in similar boats, which kind of sucks. Which is that we're like, I don't know, drier, more boring. You know, we don't do math. We don't
too.
No, Hutch's problem with these people is that they are like big voices, okay? They're big left-leaning, far-left voices, okay? Who is lefty adjacent. However, even though they say to vote for Kamala Harris, they are the kinds of people who would argue for voting for Kamala Harris reluctantly, okay? It's not an It's not an enthusiastic endorsement. It's just not an enthusiastic endorsement of Kamala Harris. It's like, oh, we told you about all the bad things about Biden and Kamala Harris, but please vote for Kamala Harris. What? Like, what are you talking about? Right? Like why the fuck are you making it out like that? You know? Yeah. Like, it's not, again, I have to say this again, okay? It's not enough. It's not enough to simply just tell people to go out and vote, okay? That's not enough. You need to be enthusiastic, okay? You need to have energy. You need to get people motivated out there to vote. Dude, no one's gonna go, well, you know, hey, you wanna go and, like, exercise? You wanna go and run like 2 laps? It's good for your health. I mean, like, I'm too lazy, but like, I'm not really feeling like it right now, but you wanna go and run? What? Or is it, all right, today, in 15 minutes, we're gonna put on our fucking shoes, let's go out, run several miles, okay? We're gonna come back, and then we're gonna eat a healthy fucking salad dinner, okay? Whoa! Like, do you see the big difference between the two? Okay, yeah, like
so
that's
guess what?
basically
Me
the
too.
difference.
I'm boring too.
Yeah,
it's hard for.
How is that, like, again, all right, if that is the difference, if that's the vast difference when it comes to, like, the Vanguard and whatever the fuck, right? Then, yeah, of course that warrants criticizing from Hutch, okay? He's just keeping true to his principles, okay? Maybe you should also keep true to your principles, okay? But I think Pisco, in his mind, he is keeping true to his principles. He just has stupid, moronic principles, and he doesn't realize the gravity of the situation, right? I think that's actually what's going on. I don't think Pisco is lying to himself. I think Pisco is just simply thinking like he's just very arrogant and egotistical and smug, and thinks that it's just not a big deal. Like the lefties are just not a big deal. Being unenthusiastic is just simply not a big deal. No, motherfucker, being enthusiastic is the entire point, actually, right?
Porn creator.
We need a media environment like MAGA does. Not one that constantly shits on us. Sure.
We don't do hard drugs. We don't have sex with like crazy Instagram models, and we don't have.
But
like,
that's where
politics.
that's also one of the problems is the left. A lot of liberals suck as creators. I learn a lot from these other lefties creators who have more riz. They just have more riz. They have just better.
Because you're crazy.
I don't think they.
Dude, Rashad Crenshaw, okay? Listen, if there's any, like, liberal commentator I want you guys to watch who doesn't appeal to dumbass lefties, it's Rashad Crenshaw, okay? Just watch Rashad Crenshaw. Also, he's funny as shit, okay? He's funny as shit, and he blew up. He left Wix orbit, which is fantastic, all right? And he moved on, okay? And he blew up as a content creator. So, yeah, you should be like Rashad Crenshaw, actually. All right. If you don't know, Rashad Crenshaw was like once part of Wick TV's orbit, but now he has more than 50,000 subscribers and he's making like videos every day about it. But yeah. Actually, we might watch like a Rashad Crenshaw segment.
Just because they're crazy. I think that.
Don't worry. we'll take a peek for you. Okay?
They're more.
I think they're a little crazy.
You think that
not specifically.
You think Crystal Ball and
I didn't say whoever you said specifically. I'm just saying that like.
But do you know what I remember? I remember Rashad Crenshaw like blasting the lefties for making them like not like for saying like, oh, this is what we get when you don't vote, right? This is what we get when you don't like, you guys are a bunch of fucking retards, blah blah blah, right? Like what I like about him is that he blasts the right-leaning people specifically a lot more, but he's also willing to like unabashedly call out the fucking lefties for being a bunch of useless dipshits. So it's like, yeah. Like that's why he's so.
I think when you have more extreme politics,
he
it's just more attractive. It's more
okay. But we're not.
He's funny. He's funny.
But
as
an example, we're not reaching out to the mic from PAs of the world. We're not reaching out to Hassan to come on our show as though he would. We're not reaching out to people who are so far to the left, the bad empanadas.
You were asking if burning the bridge was the prescription, and I think that Hutch bought down on that. I don't think he needed to, and also I'll tell you. I'll tell you what my prescription.
Yeah, tell me.
Maybe.
So with the Vanguard in particular, I think Hutch did. I think he did exactly what I would want him to do in reference to the AOC drama and in reference to the Manchin drama, which is with Manchin. He just pointed out like, "Hey guys, I hear you. You want Democrats to be more passionate. However, tactically, this just doesn't make sense." And what's funny is that because I'm an emotional creature as well, I was siding with the Vanguard at the beginning of the debate because I'm like, yeah, Democrats are pussies. They need to wake up. They need to get mad. They need to do this. They need to do that.
But they do.
But Hutch actually had like a decent tactical analysis that was undeniable.
Well, no, but right? The thing is, I almost think that he did
Bro, he's about to make Pisco maul.
Same thing with the AOC debate, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but I almost think it's a bit of a distraction because, yeah, we agree with Hutch on the specific Manchin, the relitigating of the issue of the past, relitigating the issue of the past with respect to Manchin, all that other stuff. He's right about the micro point, but the macro point, which is what I think Econoboy and I were trying to get to is, let's get some energy. Let's get some fight in us. It's something that we can improve on, which is why we were.
Counterpoints was about Pisco to pick between me and Hassan. What? Oh yeah, by the way, guys, okay, again, all right, this stream and my channel is not possible without people like you, okay? So remember to give some back, okay? Show your appreciation by opening your hearts, opening your wallets, okay? Hit that like button, that's free, all right? But you can always donate, super chat, or a membership, or donate via Streamlabs. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I think that initial inclination of you, Connor, is so telling, because that's my initial inclination is, yeah, like...
Listen, it's tough out here, okay? The reason why it's tough, can I open my, no, you're not allowed to open your zipper. What the fuck? Okay, please keep your, like, microscopic penis in your pants. Thank you. Yeah.
I hear these two young boys, these young men
like
who are coming on and basically saying Democrats need to be better fighters. And I agree with that, right? I totally agree with that. On the micro points, yeah, Hutch wins. We've always agreed with him on those specific micro points. And I guess in the AOC, it's a different conversation. But that's what I mean. Like the broader point of how we can learn, I think there's a lot to learn from people anyone who says that like the Democrats did things perfectly, or like should have stuck around with Joe Biden or did things well in Harris's campaign. You know, I'm bored of that. I want to say, how can we improve? How can we be better? And that's why I'm so like, honestly, just rolling my eyes at the Hunter Biden stuff, is because he's basically saying we should have just stuck with Biden instead of stuck with Biden. And that's like the opposite of what I think we should do.
Well, and with the AOC thing, though, and I'll have an explanatory thing at the end, but with the AOC thing, though, I feel like Hutch was correct again. And by the way, I was with everybody else first, and then he won me back on a tactical point, which is effectively that you, Andy Conaboy, said, you know, the lefties are just being crazy. You know, it doesn't affect the electoralism. Don't worry about it. They're voting for Democrats anyways. They're just bitching because they love to bitch. And then he also said, couldn't we do this in an effective way? Which is effectively saying, like, hey, we don't want to be participants in your guys' current ethnic cleansing campaign. So we're not going to zero squash your defensive munitions, but you need to pick up the bill. So over the next year or over the next 6 months, you're picking up the bill for the Iron Dome, and then Israeli civilians don't get killed, but we're not involved in the complicity of ethnic cleansing, which, by the way, I thought was a very reasonable point.
But the point, that was the point, right? Like Hutch is trying to be like, on the substantive point, I think Hutch ended up agreeing there with the notion that if you take the view that what's going on
but he did have a kill shot.
Oh, well, hang on. I'll hear the kill shot.
I want you to explain it, but I want to explain the kill shot afterwards.
Yes, you can definitely explain the kill shot. If on the substance, right, we're not talking about the tactical point. On the substance of that vote, if you take the view that, as I do, that Israel is conducting an unjustified genocide and ethnic cleansing campaign, or something approaching that, Israel.
Kill shot.
Oh, well, hang on. I'll hear the kill shot.
I want you to explain it, but I want to explain the kill shot afterwards.
Yes, you can definitely explain the kill shot. If on the substance, right, we're not talking about the tactical point. On the substance of that vote, if you take the view that, as I do, that Israel is conducting an unjustified genocide and ethnic cleansing campaign, or something approaching that, and that they have an unjustified, untenable position currently in Palestine with what their actions, then of course it makes all the sense in the world to cut defense style munitions and funding for their Iron Dome, because all of it's fungible, right? It's all fungible. You know, if I give you money to buy food and you give that
Pisco, please, you're better than this, please. Who's better for Israel versus who's better for Palestine? Is it Trump or is it Kamala Harris? There's only one choice, okay? It's Kamala Harris that's better than Trump, okay? You can't support the same leftists who probably sabotaged Kamala Harris's campaign because of the so-called genocide. You can't do it, dude. You can't. Why? Like, just months before the fucking election, comes, before voting day, just months before that, leftists were still sabotaging up until the very day where people cast their votes. Okay, like they were sabotaging up until then, dude. You can't give any room to these sabotagers, dude. And now after Trump has won, they got what they wanted. They never wanted a Democrat in office. They wanted to complain.
Money to Israel. The argument has been, in terms of the material support provisions for Hamas and Hezbollah, no, you can't send money to Hamas because they'll just use that money to buy food, and that's offshoring some of their expenses that they can now use for their offensive weaponry. And so it's all fungible, and people act as though that's such an unhinged position on the substance, right? No, so I don't think that's an unhinged position. I was
saying that was actually your strongest point.
Yeah. And the fungibility argument, where, and I think even Hutch granted that, is separate from the strategic.
People just don't know what the word fungible.
Oh yeah, by the way, Straighter Raid is in Pisco's chat. See, Straighter Raid. Do you see that? Straighter Raid. Yeah, just FYI. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, he is she is lurking around, and probably feeding Pisco lies. Okay. You can see Straighter Raid is clearly in Pisco's chat right here. Okay, just FYI.
Means.
Anyway.
Yeah, it means you can fund it. No, it means like it means this is all money is spent one place, right? You can
The
shift
great
that spending
betrayer.
It helps you move
somewhere
around
else.
other
Yeah,
shit.
it's movable. It's flexible in that way. So that money spent if you're able to shore up in one discrete area,
You show
it
together? Yeah.
lessens the load you have to bear there, and you can use that to shore up your offensive weaponry. And
Let
yeah,
me tell you the kill shot, because this is where like I just shifted to Hutch almost immediately. Was he brought up the fact that this is, if you're looking at a 10-second summary, which is oftentimes the way that people consume their information, particularly in the TikTok and Twitter landscape, then the headline is going to read, AOC voted against defensive weapons for Israel.
no, but
right?
but hang on, but Connor, I agreed with that strategic point, which is why I'm not giving AOC a hard time there, is because
Okay,
I'm
hear me
aware
out.
of that. I know what
But
game
other
she's
people
playing.
are.
Yeah, I understand, but like, I don't agree. That's why I say I don't agree with that criticism that they're saying she's a disgrace, she's this or that or whatever, because I know what game that AOC is playing, and so I'm not gonna judge her super hard on that vote, 100%. And I think that she has ambitions, and I want to protect and defend her. But we agreed on that. That's why, like, I don't understand where all of this
because
coming
you
from.
guys need to, you're fighting each other, but ideally you would be working together. And the way that it would work is that you would take the energy and passion of the left, of the far left, of these.
Straighterade says, okay, sorry, I'm going to turn up the quality because I want to read what Straighterade says in the chat. Straighterade. Hutch was being completely inconsistent by saying that Gaza shouldn't get an Iron Dome to protect Palestinian civilians, but okay with Likud and Israel getting it for theirs. Why the fuck would you get an Iron Dome for Hamas? What? Excuse me? The Iron Dome is a defensive thing, not an offensive. Dude, I'm sorry. It's just, bro. Sorry that you want the fucking, like... I'm sorry that you want the fucking Palestinian Children Dome, okay? But that's probably not... you guys are already using that, okay? They already have an Iron Dome. It's called Palestinian Children, okay? That's what Hamas has, okay? It's called hostages and Palestinian children, okay? So don't pretend they don't have an Iron Dome, okay?
These young kids who might be a little bit idealistic and their tactics are unsound, but then you filter it through the tactical acumen